Episode 9 is set to introduce a total of 8 new characters in this story by writer and director J.J. Abrams and Chris Terrio. This is Mike Zero. If you guys are new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe to see future Star Wars content. Now, one thing that a lot of people, including myself, am really looking forward to seeing in this movie is, of course, the new villain that will serve as a new threat against Kylo Ren, and will make Kylo feel vulnerable at a certain point in time in the second and third acts of this film. We do know that J.J. Abrams is being very ambitious with this movie and has a lot of high goals for the film in order for it to succeed. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film when it comes to some of the set leaks, the set designs, the concept art and storyboard descriptions, etc. One of which has all to do with major hints and or indicators about the new villain's real name in Episode 9. Specifically, a description of both Kylo Ren and the new villain inside of a large hangar bay, with explosions in the background and stormtroopers retreating. It's described that both Kylo and the new villain have their lightsabers locked together. The next goes over a wide shot of both Kylo and the villain standing in front of each other on a bridge, with a section of it falling in between them. The sequence is described as Vector reveals the truth to Ren. The last goes over the Vector character and Kylo engaging in a force duel with Rey on the floor in the background, where the sequence is dubbed as Vector attempts to convince Kylo. So I want to go over a couple of parts about this that are really intriguing to me. Now, previously, this character was known as Avril, also known, spelt out like A-V-R-I-L. That, to me, it most likely was an anagram or maybe even a code name of sorts, something around those lines. And in this scenario, this is the actual character's name, at least so far, in Episode 9's final cut of the movie, himself being called or referred to as Vector. Now, I'm not quite sure exactly what J.J. Abrams plans to do with this character or why he would even be named Vector in the story, but it does sound cool. I gotta agree, it does kind of sound very sinister, and it sounds like that this character comes from someplace very dangerous. Now, we do know that this whole entire situation involving the new villain in Episode 9 is going to be used as a story element to evolve the character of both, of course, Kylo Ren and Rey in Episode 9 in the second and third act of the film. Now, the one sequence that does really intrigue me is the one that is dubbed as, of course, Vector reveals the truth to Ren. Now, this ties directly in with what we heard just a couple of days ago about this new mysterious villain that's actually revealing new truths about the origins of the dark side and the beyond to Kylo Ren. So it most likely does tie directly in with that. And the other sequence that's dubbed as, of course, Vector attempts to convince Kylo. What is he trying to convince Kylo Ren of? Exactly what is he trying to do with the character of Kylo? Does it have something to do with the origins of the dark side, or maybe even the beyond, for all we know? So one thing is for certain is that we do know that J.J. Abrams plans to do something incredible with this movie when it comes to, of course, the second and third acts of the film for this new villain that is going to be portrayed most likely, in my opinion, by Matt Smith. Now, we do know that Matt Smith and his character is completely under wraps right now. We don't know who he's playing, and that he was given a key role in this movie that's going to be vital to the plot of Episode 9. So with that being said, we also know that Matt Smith had scenes with Adam Driver and Daisy Ridley, so you can see how everything is starting to really connect here, and how there are basically pieces to the puzzle that's actually becoming complete. So this new villain, I'm not quite sure if he's a Sith or if he's just a regular dark side user. It's very hard to tell. Maybe he's a rogue Knight of Ren, we're not quite sure. There's a lot of missing pieces here and there, but now the character being referred to as Vector is very intriguing for sure. It's honestly a whole lot better than Avril, in my opinion. Avril kind of did sound like a code name or something around the lines of an anagram that stood for something else. This scenario actually sounds like a real name, Vector. Now, I'm not quite sure if it's going to be like something out of line, like Darth Vector or something like that. I'm not quite sure. But when we look at JJ, alright, this is the thing that he loves to do with the Star Wars movies so far, is that he loves to introduce these new dark ideas and elements that will make a Star Wars movie very dark. If you look at The Force Awakens, look how dark it got with the Knights of Ren and Kylo Ren in the thunderstorm in the rain pouring down on top of them. It was a very dark moment. And now that he's bringing the Knights of Ren and making them a big major part of the story, and having them play a role in this movie, as well as a new villain, that speaks volumes by JJ and what he's trying to do, and what he's trying to basically aim for and succeed with the episode 9 story. And you can really tell that JJ is using this new villain as a way to bring us a callback to, of course, the Phantom Menace, where you had Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon Jinn, of course, going up against Darth Maul. Basically, he's recreating that whole entire scenario in episode 9, where both Kylo Ren and Rey eventually do go up against this new mysterious villain in this story that's going to bring us a lot of parallels to that of the prequel trilogy era, which honestly I think is very ambitious of JJ, and it really does show us exactly what he's trying to do with his vision. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.